Hi teachers, are you looking for new, effective strategies to implement in your classroom? I'd like to talk to you about reciprocal teaching. My name is Jordan Motsinger, and I'm an English teacher at Harrison High School in Kennesaw, Georgia. Reciprocal teaching occurs when a student is secure in his or her knowledge and is willing to share or assist others. As we know, to teach requires a deep understanding, so allowing our students to become reciprocal teachers ensures that they also have a deep understanding of the content. Being a reciprocal teacher also builds confidence. Research shows that reciprocal teaching is an effective strategy to create a student-centered classroom in which students are actively engaged in the discovery of information and are responsible for their learning. When students take on the role of teacher, learner autonomy is built and students develop an intrinsic desire to think and learn. Further research shows that allowing students to become the teachers and generate their own questions encourages students to display a deeper understanding of the objectives and develops independent learners. When students generate their own questions, it arouses student interest and gives them a purpose for reading. Allowing reciprocal teaching creates a community of scholars in which all participants are expected not only to act as learners, but as learners who develop a knowledge base in order to produce new knowledge. Students build a common understanding of the reason they are there, the shared responsibility of all class members, and the ways they can hold each other accountable. Reciprocal teaching is also supported by self-regulation theory, and of the 4 phases of self-regulation, it falls into the independence and application category. So how did I implement reciprocal teaching? Well, I let my students do the teaching. Just kidding, it's a little more complex than that. In my classroom, reciprocal teaching took the form of a pinwheel discussion. I first assigned The Road by Cormac McCarthy and several supplemental articles. Then my students and I discussed effective questioning and discussion strategies, and lastly, I simply facilitated and evaluated their discussion. Of course, it was necessary for me to give my students some pre-discussion notes, so I asked them to create 5 kinds of questions: world connection, close-ended, open-ended, universal theme, and literary analysis. My students also received these guidelines. In a classroom full of gifted and high-achieving learners, they're very concerned about their grades. In this photo, you see my students sitting in 2 circles. The inner circle contains the students who are actively discussing, and the outer circle has students who are about to jump into the discussion. All of my students are asking and answering questions and generating their own discussion.
And if a Rugrat did lunge for yourself, would you shoot him? And the second thing is, if you knew that the world was going to end within the next couple hours, who would you come in contact with? What would you bring? And what is your immediate place to go to?
So I have another question on, are the bad things that the people do in look like rape and cannibalism, is it because of the circumstances or is it something already in place?
So is this strategy effective? Let's see what these students have to say. Best of luck as you implement reciprocal teaching in your classroom. Thank you for watching.
Created using Powtoon.